guys, Realtor Adele, your favorite realtor and investment property strategist. In this video, I'm sharing 3 things you should know before selling, buying, or investing in real estate. Real estate has always been a tried and true way to not just create stability, but to secure wealth. Regardless of your involvement, before you do anything, put a for sale sign in the yard, jump in your car into our homes, or place a bid on a distressed property, there are a few things you may want to consider before doing so. In this video, I'm not just listing those suggestions, we're going to get into specifics as to why you should consider them in the first place. Let's begin. Being aware of the general environment of the housing market is not a bad idea. A basic understanding is to know whether it's a buyer's or seller's market. A general rule of thumb to make this determination is supply and demand. If the amount of homes for sale outweighs buy demand, then the market is experiencing a buyer's market. In a seller's market, the amount of homes for sale are lower than the demand to buy them. In a buyer's market, typical things to negotiate include the sales price, earnest money deposit, possible repairs, and closing costs. Some sellers are also open to the buyer using various types of funding methods such as down payment assistance and grants. Also, some sellers may consider various types of creative financing. In a seller's market, property sellers may require higher earnest money amounts, and the final sales price is also typically higher than the initial list price, since there may be more competition amongst buyers, and this drives up the final purchase price. Typically in a seller's market, there's less leniency from the seller, as well as little to no buyer concessions. When you're selling or buying your first home or investment property, the same rule of thumb applies. Overall, knowing which group you're in can set expectations and help you strategize throughout the process. Another thing you should be aware of before selling, buying, or investing in real estate are mortgage interest rates. Rates can be fickle and usually ebbs and flows with economic, global, and financial factors. For home buyers, there are many funding options available. However, the most common is a 30-year fixed mortgage. Typical loan types are VA, FHA, and conventional. Despite the type of loan you get, you'll be charged interest on the amount borrowed. Knowing the national average can help you prepare and budget beforehand. Now, your final rate amount will depend on your credit score, debt-to-income ratio, and overall credit history. Pro tip, once you're serious about buying a home, apply for a home loan before touring homes. Most sellers require a pre-approval or pre-qualification letter at best, and these are typically good for up to 90 days. Keep in mind that your rate can change if it's not locked. For buyers who are 62 years of age and better, one way to make buying a home more affordable is to consider a reverse mortgage. Reverse mortgages allows you to convert the equity in a home into cash. You're not required to make monthly mortgage payments, and the loan is satisfied or paid off when you move, sell, or pass away. Now, while you're not required to make monthly mortgage payments, you must still keep up with the property taxes, HOA fees, and homeowners insurance. General maintenance of the property is also required. These include repairs, lawn maintenance, things of this nature. So to sum it all up, while you are relieved from making monthly mortgage payments, a reverse mortgage does not eliminate ongoing financial obligations. You must still keep the property in good and livable condition, or you'll be in default of the loan. As for home sellers, awareness of mortgage rates gives insight on the overall housing market environment. It lets you know if home ownership is affordable or not. By knowing this information, it makes you aware of what to expect from potential home buyers who may submit an offer on your home. If rates are unaffordable, you may want to consider buying down the buyer's rate as an incentive. This will not only set you apart from other property sellers, but can also result in fewer days on market and getting to the closing table sooner than later. Another consideration is to compare the rate on your current home to the national average. If your rate is lower, consider talking to your lender and finding out if it's possible for potential buyers to assume your current mortgage rate. An example of this would be if current rates are 6.5% and the rate on the home you're selling is at 3%. This is a phenomenal savings for would-be buyers and a terrific incentive to sell faster than the competition. Lastly, if you're buying a home as well as selling, knowing where rates are can help you further in your planning. For real estate investors, if this is your first property and you don't have a primary residence, knowing where interest rates are can serve you in multiple ways. You can get a first-time buyer loan with the typical offered rate and purchase a multifamily property, living in one unit and renting out the others. Up to 4 units qualify as residential property. If this doesn't apply to you and you already have a primary residence, then typically the interest rate will be higher for investment properties. In fact, expect rates to be higher for both traditional loans as well as private or hard money loans. If you're planning on asking the seller to contribute to your closing costs, keep in mind that for investment properties, the max amount the seller can contribute is 2% if you're using a traditional loan like FHA or conventional. Another thing that you should know before selling, buying, or investing in real estate is economic and global factors. They set the tone for mortgage rates. The more risk in the marketplace, the higher the cost to borrow money. Now, you don't need to get too heavy into data-driven knowledge, but keeping an eye on the following can go a long way. Inflation. If it's high, rates tend to increase in order to slow how fast the cost of goods and services go up. The jobs market. If the jobs market is down, rates may fall in an effort to stimulate the economy. Threats of war may signal higher risk, and things like the health crisis in 2020 may be a signal for lower rates. In closing, please like this video if you found it helpful. Also subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. More importantly, please share this video with others who you feel may find it helpful as well. If you're thinking of selling, buying, or investing in real estate and are in search of a realtor to help you make your next move, I would love to connect. All of my contact information is provided on the following slides. That's all for now. See you on the next one.